So who would you say are some of the coolest like artists that you've gotten to collaborate with over the past, 10,
Yelawolf.
11 years?
The
Yelawolf?
coolest. Birdman's super cool. Like, dude, there's no cooler person than Birdman. Like, he like lives it to a T. Like, he's what every rapper like want to be like. That's him to a T.
That's his lifestyle.
He's a fucking boss, But I think like my favorite artist that I'm linked with definitely Yelawolf, which is interesting because my first time meeting Yelawolf was before I got signed. I was passing out CDs at a Yelawolf concert.
No
and he
way.
was a dickhead to my manager. Because my manager was like one of those autograph dudes that like would hound people down and get them to autograph shit. He was trying to get Yelawolf to like autograph a mic or something, and Wolf was like, no. And hopped on his fucking bus, and that was my first time meeting the artist, and I was like, fuck, dude, this sucks. And I never spoke on that. What's funny is like I never said nothing about that to anybody. Like I never like publicly bashed him. And, like I could have probably just been in my feelings. Kids nowadays, like if you treat them like shit, they'll just go on a Twitter rant about you. But
TikTok.
Yeah, I never said nothing about it. And I was always like, man, I'm going to just keep my head down and work. And I want to meet him again in a space where like he respects me as an artist. That's exactly what happened. Like I met him in California. Jelly Roll brought me out to a show and I met him and he had knew of my shit then. And he was like, man, let's do some shit. So we ended up doing a couple records like via email. And then he's just seen like, it was really last year once I dropped McQueen Fiend and I started dropping these other visuals that he was like, dude, your artistry right now is super dope. Like, let's do an album.
Yeah, you guys just did an album together, right?
Yeah. So I told him that story when we linked and we were cracking up. He's just like, he knows he's like that. So he's just dying laughing. Yeah. He's like,
what was the process like making an album with him?
It was really quick. Like, basically like I dropped McQueen Fiend and he was like, hey, I want to remix that. Send me it. And he sent me back a fucking 2-minute verse on it, like a cold verse. And I was like, damn, like he just destroyed it. And then I was like, man, let's shoot a video. And he's like, you want to just do an album? And I was like, yeah. So it was like, he put me in a group chat with his manager, Zilla. And Zilla was like, we could get House of Blues studio in 3 days. You want to come? And I was like, literally had no plan. Like, I was just like, let's do it. And I flew out there. He had like told me he wanted me to curate the beats and shit for it. So like, I just went to all my homies that I produced with and was like, yo, let me just hear all the hardest shit. So I spent a whole day just going through hundreds of beats. And I picked out pretty much the beats that are on the tape, like all 10 of them I came with. And it was effortless.
You guys recorded the whole thing in 3 days?
We recorded the whole, no. At 3 days notice to go there. We recorded the whole thing in 7 days.
And does that include writing?
Yeah. Damn. Like we did most of it in like 3-4 days, and then the last 2 days were kind of like bullshitting. Like remember I gave us COVID, so like the last 2 days, like we were sick. Like he did Tat Shop the last day, and I did one of my last one was Billy and the Purple Dots, and which I just
I like that one.
Like he had ripped me on we did Tijuana or something the night before, and I felt like he had ripped me on that song. So I came back the next day with like a vengeance, and he had laid that Billy verse, and I was like, oh, I'm coming crazy, and like I just we turned up. It was fun because I've worked with a lot of artists, and sometimes artists are like, if they're an up and comer, a newer artist, sometimes they're like hit or miss in the studio. Like they might not be feeling it today.
Right.
I need to be inspired, or whatever it is. And like Wolf was just like the first like no bullshit artist. Like we pulled up the intro beat, and I was like, this is what I think the intro should be. That was the very first one we did, and he was like, this beat's crazy. And 15 minutes later was laying his verse, and I was like, oh, this is about to be dope because I
15 minutes,
15 minutes,
bro.
And then
that's so crazy.
And then I did my verse in about 20 minutes after that. Like I didn't write my verse till he was done because I wanted to come off of his last line. So then I just went in the booth and did mine, but like. Dude, the process was just like, we did the intro the first day and everyone was like, this tape is about to be nuts. Like we had a couple homies there and shit, and everyone was just like, this is just the intro. Like that's why we called it just the intro. And it was like right then I was like, okay, this is going to be special. Like I knew this was going to be dope. And every day that we went in there, it was like, right when we pulled up the beat, like he didn't need to listen to 5 beats. Like I pulled up the one I wanted to do and he just started writing. And he always wrote his verse like quicker than me for the most part. Like, and he's a vet. I just like doing that because I consider myself like that kind of artist. Like I could get in there.
Do you write everything or do you ever freestyle?
No, I actually, what's funny is that the Wolf tape is what brought me back to writing. Like I've been writing more, but for the last like 8 years since like Black Sheep 1 and 2, I haven't written music down in like 10 years. Like I was doing that Lil Wayne thing where I would just write it in my head.
You kind of just like
I'll
Do you
play
do
the
it where you
beat.
record, like you freestyle, kind of
little
record and
both.
then do a piece?
So like for a minute, I was doing where I would just write my whole verse in my head and then go lay it, but I never wrote it down. And then once I started recording myself, that's when I kind of got into like just freestyling shit, because I was engineering myself, so it's like I could play around with it, engineer, you know. So that was a different process. So I did not write for years, and then like with Wolf, when we were working on the album, we were recording it on an analog setup, so I couldn't run any plugins. Like normally I put like a little auto tune on my shit or reverb. You know, you got all these plugins. We were pretty much recording our vocals raw. So I don't write because I just hear myself in the mic and in the headphones, and my favorite part about the music is like the sonic element of it. I like the tone of my voice and that, you know, like the sonic pieces of it.
Right.
So I don't know, working on this album was like me getting back to, I had to just write my whole verse and make sure what I was saying was dope, because I knew I wasn't really going to like how I sounded while I recorded it. I had to wait till it get mixed. So it was a blessing though, because it literally just pushed me back into this mode of like writing my shit down on paper. And I've kind of like psyched myself out of that for a couple of years. So the Wolf album I wrote, and then this album that I just dropped after Fine Art, I wrote everything for that.